My name's Jo and this is day 5 of my West Highland Way adventure. The West Highland Way is a 96-mile trail in Scotland that runs from Milngavie just north of Glasgow to Fort William. So far we've walked 67 miles and reached the bridge of Orchy. Today we have a really long walk ahead of us. It's over 22 miles to tonight's accommodation in Kinlochleven. It's a long way, but for the most part it will be a fairly easy walk as it's along a military road. That is until we get to the Devil's Staircase. So it's the morning of day 4. We've got a big walk ahead, so we're up really early. Apparently the road's busy. The hotel actually lock you in, so you can't leave until 7 AM. But apparently someone's coming at 7 AM to open the door so we can get out. Lorna's just upstairs, so she should be down in a minute, and I'm going to try and have some fruit before we go. The hotel doesn't serve breakfast until 8 or 8:30, I think. So they're giving us a packed breakfast to have along the way. We're out of the door just after 7 AM. With such a long way to walk, and after arriving at our accommodation in the dark 2 days ago, we don't want to take any chances today. As the sun comes up, we climb out of the village, and the path runs through a densely wooded area. It's a little spooky, but it does help that it's getting lighter by the minute. The sun is just about up now and we're still climbing. I don't think we've done a mile yet, and we're deliberately taking it very slow so as not to tire ourselves out like on the first mile when we've got another 20 to do. But it's quite nice that it's so early because I'm never up this early, and you kind of feel like you're the first ones and the only ones awake. If this is anything to go by, I think we're going to be in for some wonderful views today. And the path is pretty rocky, which also makes it slow going. Hopefully that's the bulk of the first climb done, hopefully. Pace was a little slower than we need to average today, but that's okay because it was the warm-up mile and it was all uphill. So hopefully when it flattens out a bit we can speed up, but we thought it was sensible to stop and get some breakfast in, so we've got energy to speed up, just recover from the climb. It's lovely and windy. And wow, those views. I think we're now on the old military road and ahead is Loch Tula. So we're about 2 miles in, come down the hill now. Pace is okay but not great. Hoping that as we go over Rannoch Moor the road gets better and we can make up a bit of time, or at least lower our average mile. Really wish I wasn't having to track the miles and just enjoy the walk, but it's not sensible not to do that because we don't want to risk walking in the dark at all. We passed the Rowardennan hotel. We did try to get a room here instead of at the bridge of Orchy, and that would have made today's walk a little shorter, but it was fully booked. Although there is room to camp here, so if you don't mind carrying a tent and all the other equipment you need, that's an option. I've got a beautiful, which is probably just short of 3 miles, maybe 2.5 miles. We've got this beautifully tarbacked road, and also there's a little sign just to reassure us that we're going in the right direction. Also, it's kind of trying to rain. It's just drizzling at the moment. But we've been so lucky with the weather the whole of the week. I can't really complain. And I'll take a bit of drizzle over driving rain any day. So it's refreshing, right?
The military road now takes us across Rannoch Moor towards Kingshouse.
Lorna! It's a deer! Lorna! Can you see it?
My camera doesn't pick it up, of course, but in the distance we watch as a lone red deer crosses the path in front of us. It's a truly magical moment.
I've just seen a deer. Probably can't see it on the camera. We've done 4.5 miles now. We've got about 10 to do on this road until we reach the bottom of the Devil's Staircase. Still climbing again, and we've just seen a deer off in the distance. And probably didn't get it on camera. It's quite magical to see. And it's quite misty and atmospheric up here. Feeling quite strong, feeling quite confident that we'll do it. Not sure how Lorna's feeling. But she's soldiering on and pushing on, so fingers crossed.
Lorna has asked me not to update her on how we're doing, so I quietly track our pace. I have told her that if we don't reach the bottom of the Devil's Staircase by 3 p.m, then we won't make it to Kinlochleven before it gets dark.
So that's probably a quarter of the day done, just short of 6 miles. Lorna's just stopped to strap her ankle up. She's right over there. I don't think it's hurting too bad, but it's more a preventative measure. I thought I'd take the opportunity to have a banana and have a wee. And feeling pretty strong.
We're off again, and the rain is still threatening. The views are absolutely stunning though, and I can only imagine how amazing they'd be on a really clear day. This military road is long, and Lorna's really determined to get through it. I'm happy with the pace, but I am worried that she's pushing herself a little bit too hard. We've still got a big climb ahead of us, and then the long descent into Kinlochleven. Rannoch Moor is pretty exposed, and in today's wind we're definitely not as warm as we were on previous days.
Given in and put the fleece on. It's icy cold now. Just done a 20-minute mile. I think because it's cold we're just going really fast. So done 7 miles and we're a third of the way. Lorna was really pushing the pace, so I said we can afford to slow down because I don't want us getting too tired in the beginning of the day by overdoing it and not having enough reserves for the Devil's Staircase, which is coming up I think about mile 14-15. So we're halfway to the Devil's Staircase. I haven't actually seen any other walkers today, probably because we left so early, but we've got this big hill stretching out in front of us and I've just seen 2 little figures at the top of it. I think they're heading that way, not this way. They might be coming towards us. And it's lovely up here. It's like the views just keep changing, but this part of the road is like 10 or 11 or 12 miles long and it feels long, but we're soldiering on. I'm going to try and get us to stop at around mile 11 for a break and then another one just before the Devil's Staircase. The path is actually a little bit easier now than it was at the start. Less slippy for sure. Just had a little break, I think at the 9 mile mark. That's where we've just come from. Grab my poles and onwards and upwards, always upwards. I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like that might be the last of the ups for a little while at least, unless we get over the little bump and see another one, that is. But hopefully it's down. I can see the road below us now, and I think we're definitely on the descent to, I think it's called Kingshouse, and then after the bottom of the Devil's Staircase. The sun's come out for a second and given us a really faint rainbow. Don't know if you can see it, it's really faint, but there's a rainbow. So we're still going down, and I think that's King's houses, what I can see down there. And I think the path takes us right past there. Hoping there's a toilet.
After the fast pace that Lorna set across Rannoch Moor, we're doing really well for time, and so when Lorna mentions stopping at the hotel for a hot chocolate, I don't object.
So we were doing so well for time that we decided to stop in the King's House Hotel. Well, Lorna said it was for hot chocolate, but we've ended up ordering some food. But that's fine, as long as we don't spend more than an hour here. It'll give us a chance to warm up, re-energise, and then we've got a 3 mile walk to the base of the Devil's Staircase, 2 miles up this Devil's Staircase, and then 4 miles down into Kinlochleven, where our hostel is tonight. I think it's fair to say it's not warm anymore. There is a wind. Let's just hope there's not too much rain. Approaching the car park at the base of the Devil's Staircase. So about 3 miles from the restaurant where we had lunch, and we're just about at the base of the Devil's Staircase. It's kind of misting with rain, and it's been really cold. Hey, I'm sure walking up the Devil's Staircase will warm me up. The sun's come out, but we're also in a cloud. Lorna has gone flying up. I stopped to take a layer of clothing off, but put my waterproof back on so I can layer up when I get to the top. But there's a little pink dot up in the distance. That's Lorna. I was kind of expecting stairs because it's called the Devil's Staircase. So far it's just this winding rocky path, which is much better than stairs. Just do what's comfortable, like without. Yeah, but I need to. We did it! The highest point!
That was the highest part of the whole of the West Highland Way, and now we've got the long walk down to Kinlochleven, and the sun's coming out, which is unexpected but very welcome.
So we're still about 3 miles from Kinlochleven. We've got a view of it, and the path's just really, really twisty, and it's gotten cold. So the hat's come out and the glass come out, and I probably won't film much more today because it's just this down, windy path. I'm cold, I'm tired. But Lorna is like a different person. Really happy that she's done it and actually taking in the scenery rather than just looking at the floor and thinking, why am I doing this? So I'm glad she's got to that point, and hopefully we can both really enjoy tomorrow. It's our last day. So we were warned that this road went on forever. And it really does feel like it goes on forever. But we're just coming into Kinlochleven now, and just going to go to the hostel and sleep. But it has been a really good day, and so glad that Lorna started to enjoy the trip and be more positive. But definitely ready for a hot shower.
So that's day 5 done, all 22 miles of it. Tomorrow is our last day, and we'll get to walk the last 15 miles of the West Highland Way into Fort William.